Good morning. Welcome to the first episode of Beers and Beards. Or is it Beards and Beers or Beers and Beards? All right. Well, that's what it is then. Um, I'm your host, Jeremy Wiseman, with Michael Wilson. Hey, Mike, how are you? Um, yeah, talking about it for a long time. Just because I was trying to get on Region Degenerates with zero sports or gambling knowledge. I was trying to be the I was trying to be the drunk comedic. So the whole idea here is, well, Mike is moving away here soon, and that's finally what got us to get together and get this started. This just forces us to hang out for a little while once a week. Um, so basically, what we're going to do here is every week we are going to um, we're going to pick a different state. Okay, we're going to talk about beer, and we're going to pick a state, and we're going to drink a beer from it. And then we're also going to talk about fun drunk stats for that state. We'll talk about the brewery a little bit. Kind of go in a direction like that. We'll see. It's going to change a lot. But right. Oh shit, you're right. We did. We also decided, ooh, these are way colder than I thought they were. So I've been setting my beers on this patio beer season. No longer needed for the fridge, but it is colder than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to see how this goes. Oh yeah, we're supposed to start every show off with a shotgun. We already messed that up.
You say I messed that up?
Over my... I said we. Jesus Christ. Really excited I haven't spilled beer in my house yet.
Hey, putting your beer on the porch is a real thing in the Midwest, though. I'm sure in other areas also, but Midwest for sure.
I thought it'd be warm enough today because it got up to a nice 50 degrees here in Indiana, but
in fucking New Hampshire got to like
cold.
New Hampshire got up to 26. That's something.
Nice. Anyways, cheers.
Cheers, bud. All right. Cool.
Oh yeah, we talked about that right side of the screen.
It's his first time hosting. You gotta give him a break.
All right. Yeah, we'll get this. We probably won't ever get this sorted out. It's always going to be shitty.
Hey, if you go back and listen to my first episode of Region Degenerates, it is bad.
Well, I've got some loose notes here with some fun little topics and things.
Are we gonna do shotgun timer?
Yeah. Let's do that.
What are we setting it for?
Random generator says.
So here's a few things about the show we're gonna do. Every show we're gonna start off with a shotgun tip off. Beers and Beards always starts with a shotgun tip off. Join us if you want. Be square if you want. Then what Jay's going to do is he's going to hit me with a random number. I'm going to type it into the calendar, and when we hear that, bah, 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 we're going to do a random shotgun throughout the day too, or throughout this episode too, and episodes to come. You got a number for me, bud?
13.
13 minutes. All right. What beer are we drinking today?
Oh yes. So for the first show, we're gonna pick a state from here on forward, but as a pilot, we're just gonna talk about the United States and
I gotta get mine.
versus the world for drinking. So the first beer is a Lagunitas IPA. Comes to us from California, and the reason we chose this is because it is the #1 selling craft beer in the world.
Hey, mine's
I didn't know
beer.
that. Oh yeah, yours is. I got 3 of them though. Well, 6 really, but I've got 3 cold.
It's as long as my beard, from the bill of my hat to the beard. No, I think my beard's longer.
Anyways,
what's up, Skeet? Skeet just jumped in the comments, said hi, Wiseman.
Oh, what's up? What's up, man? Oh, I should probably open this up on Facebook too, huh?
You don't have to. If you do, make sure you turn your volume off.
Now there's too much going on. You can just read the comments for me. All right, so
do you know Nate Casper? Before you get started, I'm sorry. Do you know Nate Casper?
The name's familiar.
He said, "Is this beers and beards or Irish guys drink beer?"
I'm not even Irish. I'm not even Irish. I mean, I am a little bit.
All right, tell the people, and if you haven't already, tell the people why we were drinking IPA Lagunitas and why we started with this beer.
Well, we're starting with this one because this is the #1 selling craft beer in the world. Don't fact check me because I don't give a fuck. So
have you ever seen Drunk History?
I learned this. Yeah. No, I haven't. You've been recommending it for years. Go
ahead and treat every fact we put on here like Drunk History.
Okay.
It's really good.
All right. So yeah, this is the first beer. I know Mike Wilson doesn't really like IPAs too much, but do you know where IPAs actually came from?
Lagunitas.
So the first IPA was Bass Ales. It's a IPA. And let me get this straight. So the IPA was invented in Britain, and it's because British sailors, while sailing to India, loaded up barrels of beer with hops because hops were a preservative. So the hops hung around in the beer for so long that they lost their fruity flavor and left a bitter tasting beer. So
very bitter.
IPAs were born to make beer last longer, so they can get it from Britain to India without it souring.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Now we have IPAs.
That's really so. Were they looking for something to brew to ship farther without going bad, or that just kind of happened?
It just kind of happened. They were using hops as a preservative. It wasn't meant to flavor the beer at all, but once they used the preservative, after all that time, it ended up changing the flavor of the beer to the IPAs that all of the hipsters across the world love so much.
So I love that you said hipsters. So when Jay just said that I don't like IPAs, and I don't. I can do probably one IPA a night. But I was just at the grocery store right across the street. I'm in New Hampshire, and I'll talk about my trip to New Hampshire here in a little bit. I'm here for work, but I went across the street here to the liquor store, and Jay, they have a beer called Bonus Round, and I think it's a Maine brewery, and so I think we might be drinking that for Maine. It's an IPA. It came in a 12-pack, and it's called Bonus Round. And I don't like IPA, but the theme of the can is Galaga.
Oh, sick! You gotta buy it.
So I'm looking at this case, and I'm going back and forth, like, do I want 12 of these? And one of the guys that works there comes by and goes, "Can I help you, bud?" And I go, I don't like IPAs enough to buy a 12-pack, but I like Galaga enough to buy a 6-pack. Do you have a 6-pack of this? And he goes, "Totally understand. Don't have a 6-pack."
That's great. That's perfect. All right, so yeah, Lagunitas makes the #1 selling craft beer in the world. So let's talk about how much the United States actually drinks. What do you think? We'll
How
start with
much?
that.
What am I doing? Fluid ounces?
Well, first, before we get into that, let's talk about what is considered a drink. So in the United States, a drink is something that contains zero point 0.6 ounces of pure alcohol. That conveniently corresponds to the amount of alcohol typically contained in a 12-ounce beer, a 5-ounce glass of wine, or a 1.5-ounce shot, which is what a typical shot is, of an 80 proof liquor. Most whiskeys and vodkas are 80 proof. So that's where we get a drink. Okay. So then, yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into that.
Do
So
you
we're
have
going to
before you
talk
keep
about
going? Do you have anything that establishes a? So you did wine and beer. Do you have anything that establishes a different drink based on how like your what is it, the IBUs or the why am I drawing a blank? Based on how heavy the
ABV,
alcohol is, what's the IBU level, the ABU level? What is it?
ABV,
ABV. There it is. Is
alcohol
it
by volume.
does that establish like a porter would not be a 12-ounce drink? It would be a 5-ounce drink. Is there any difference there?
No, this is just typically, right? So if you think of a typical beer, like most domestic beers, they're around 4.5%, right? So that's what's considered a typical drink for beer. Okay, obviously, if you're drinking craft, it's going to be more than that. If you drink an 8%er, technically counts as two drinks as far as these scales are concerned. Same thing for a shot of whiskey, right? If you have whiskey on the rocks, that's going to actually be more than one ring or more than one drink, right? So this is just defining what a drink
Okay.
is for the way these studies have worked out. So the way these numbers are is it is gallons per person, gallons of alcohol consumed per person. This is the average. Okay. So if you had to guess on average how many gallons of alcohol a person consumes in 1 year. Now, I'm not saying a gallon of beer. I'm saying the pure alcohol within the beer. How much pure alcohol does the average person in the United States consume in gallons?
Just one person? Oh, so an average person in gallons. Um, I don't even know what would be a low or high number. I like this trivia because you literally have. I think you would literally have no idea. I would say what I can go through probably a case a week. What's a case? 12 times 30. Um,
Well, let's see. So a case. Let me actually calculate how much pure alcohol is in there. Okay, so um, 0.06 times. So we're assuming that it's zero point 0.6 ounces per drink, right? That's
okay.
ounces of pure alcohol per drink. So then there's going to be uh, 24 beers at 12 ounces at zero point 0.6. That's 173 ounces, which is like a gallon. No, that can't be right. A gallon and a half?
It's a gallon and a half of alcohol in a case of beer. Um, I would say somewhere
That can't be right.
around. I'm gonna add because of whiskey. I'm gonna for alcohol. I'll say. What's my tolerance? As far, I mean, not my alcohol tolerance, my guess tolerance. 10
I don't
gallons
know.
each
This
way,
is this
5
is an
gallons
obscure
each way.
question. You're probably gonna guess high.
I'm gonna go 61 gallons.
Holy smokes. Okay, so the average person, now me and you might drink 61 gallons, but the average person in America drinks 2.3 gallons.
What?
2.3. Yeah, yeah. It seems like a lot, but once you see, my conversion's probably wrong too. I don't know. I'm drinking. I'm not mathing. But
I'm basing that off of a gallon and a half of alcohol a case, which if you're doing 0.6, probably
I
not.
don't think that's right. I
Yeah, it
don't
doesn't
think
sound right.
I don't. I don't think
Where's
that's correct.
Danny at?
Oh, hold on. So it's 24 drinks. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. It's not ounces. It's 24 drinks. Ah, okay. 14 ounces in one case. Let's start over. 14 ounces in one case.
14 ounces in one case.
That makes more sense.
6 ounces. This is a glass. Yeah, okay. I mean, two. I think I was still stuck on drinking 52 gallons of beer or 61 gallons of beer. I still think
Right.
2.1 is
So
a
yeah.
low average.
Yeah, so well, I mean, yeah. So 2.3 is what this source says.
I still think that's a low
Um,
average.
in this article, well, and it's funny because modern Americans were almost considered prudish compared to our settlers, right? Our settlers, guess their average. Okay, so ours is 2.3 per person. Now the settlers coming to America, guess what their average was? Now, this is a time where purified water wasn't a thing. So a lot of times it was safer to drink wine or
Yes.
beer because they were brewed.
I
And that
right
way, a
away
lot of the
right away when you started, I was going to go higher than 2.3. Um, I would go based on 2.3, assuming it's higher. I would go 4.6.
5.8. 5.8. So Americans 400 years
Hold on.
ago.
Nate Casper chimed in and said, yeah, they also only lived 32 years.
That's true. That's true. Probably because they have at least twice as much beer as Americans do today. That's funny. I like that. So, yeah, so I mean, we drink, right? They drink a lot more. But do you know what the definition of a heavy drinker is? Do you know that definition?
No.
So, a heavy drinker is a man that drinks 5 or more drinks in 1 week.
5 or more drinks or 5 or more? Yikes.
Yeah.
What's today?
Yeah,
Wednesday?
that's considered a heavy drinker.
What's today? Wednesday? Did the week start on Monday or Sunday?
Oh, I'm sorry. Monday. Hold on, listen. I fucked that up.
Okay.
This is week 1, right? So I'm gonna have clearer notes next time. Um, it's 15 drinks per week. It's
Okay.
considered a heavy drinker. That makes more sense. All right. So if you're
You
drinking more
said-
than 2 a day, you're a heavy drinker.
Yeah, you said five a week, and I'm sitting here going, it's Wednesday, and I'm definitely a 5 already. Oh!
Oh shit! All right,
Shotgun
there
timer.
it is. So that is the shotgun timer, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, we might have set that up for longer next time. This is. Oh, you already got yours punched, huh?
Dude, might have been punched for 2 hours.
Nice and flat. All right, I'm gonna do that next time. Using the best shotgun tool. You can find these on Amazon. 10 of these plastic dudes for $10. Better than anything that's.
Did you buy those, or is that still mine?
It's hard to tell. I know I bought probably.
It's not hard to tell.
Anyway, shotgun timer.
There you go, bud.
Wait. Oh shit! I just spilled beer on the floor.
Cheers.
Here we go. Did you start after I finished again? Or is it just lagging?
I can't find my tab because I
We'll get that
pre-shot
worked
him.
out better next time. Woo! We'll get that worked out better next time. So, the 5 drinks. Excuse me. Woo! A lot of burping on the show too, I guess. Beer and burps.
Nate Casper chimed in again. He said,
So the 5 that I came up with,
Nate
right?
Casper chimed in again. He said they consider that a heavy drinker. Rocco in Boondock Saints says, and I quote, John Wayne died with 5 pounds of red meat in his ass. Now that's a man.
What the fuck?
I've never
All
I've never
right.
seen Boudinot sings.
I, all right. Uh, so that 5 drinks, right? I read too far in my notes, and the 5 drinks is actually if you have 5 or more drinks.
15.
What? Right. So 15 is considered a heavy drinker. 15 a week is considered a heavy drinker, which is only 8 drinks for women. Okay. But if you binge drinking is considered drinking 5 or more drinks in one sitting. So like every Saturday,
Well, I got the
Sunday,
solution for that.
most Fridays.
You order 2 beers and then you switch bar stools.
Hey, there you go. I don't really get that, but
Well, you said it. You said 5 beers in one sitting. I'm gonna move my seat.
oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. You're just gonna move over, and then you're not. Okay. 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 Clever. Clever. Um, I don't know. Five drinks. I guess that is a lot. That's more than a typical Wednesday for me. 5 beers. Although
5 drinks
probably
in
could be
one
5 beers
sitting
today.
is a you're trying to get drunk that day.
Well, I don't know. I guess. Yeah. Well, I mean, the World Health Organization says so. So I mean, who am I to argue? Right. Right. They're scientists. I'm just an enthusiast. But what
I'm
else do
not
we
gonna make
got?
it
What
through
other kind
this.
of fun facts do we have? What's that?
I'm not gonna make it through this
You're
IPA.
not gonna make it through there?
No, this is a big boy.
Well, no one would have known. You just gotta just drink it every once in a while.
So hoppy.
And this is a relatively light one. There are some very
They
powerful ones out
So I'll
there.
say this: when we get to New Hampshire, they love their hops up here. When I sit down at a bar and I go, "You got anything local?" She goes, "This is an IPA. This is an IPA. This is an IPA. This is an IPA." I was like, "Okay, let's calm the fuck down a little bit here. It's fucking December. How about a porter?"
Yeah, yeah. It should be getting to that kind of season. If you go to a lot of brew pubs or craft beer bars, a lot of them just a few weeks ago, there's still a lot of IPAs, and I was asking, when are the winter beers coming? And we're waiting for it. It's still not here yet, surprisingly. What you got now?
Aunt Carrie chimed in and said, "Is this butts and guts or beers and beards?"
I don't know. But okay. Um, I don't really know what to do with that. So, out of all of the Americans, and this is data from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. Yikes. Um, what percentage of Americans do you think have had a drink in the past month?
73%.
No. So it's 56. I expected it to be higher too. And this says that 86% of people have had a drink of drinking adults or of adults of drinking age have had a drink in their life. 86%. 56% of all Americans have had a drink in the past month. I don't know if I guess I was expecting it to be higher.
What was
I
the
don't know.
drink in
I
the
guess
last
I
month?
say that again.
What was the percentage of people who have had a drink in the last month?
56%. And then for those who have admitted to having at least one drink in their life is 86%, which
Yeah, maybe I jumped the gun on the beers per or beer have had a beer in a month. Maybe I should have toned that back a little bit. And Nate Casper brought up a good point. He goes, "You forgot all about the Mormons and the Amish."
I'm not sure how they would fall into this. Do they drink? They must, right? Mormons probably not. I don't know if Amish drink or not.
If I was Amish, I'd have to drink, man. That's a lot of hard work.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm uneducated in the cultures.
Not
I don't
using
have
any
anything.
not using any power tools. So I had a funny story about this. So I was watching, what's the show? Why can't I think of the name of it? The two stunt guys, and they prove if it was real or not. One guy wears like a derby hat. They're two stunt.
Mythbusters?
That's it, MythBusters. And so they're building a cannon out of a tree, and it's the Mayans were doing this way back this is how the Mayans made cannons. And they're like, we're going to use everything the Mayans had to their advantage. We're not going to use any power tools today. And they made it about 10 minutes, and the guy fires up a chainsaw, and the other guy comes over and goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm not doing anything the Mayans wouldn't have done if they didn't have a chainsaw.
Accurate. If there's a better tool for the job, right? That's funny. Oh shit. What other cool stuff?
Yeah, what else you got on the docket, bud?
So I guess we could compare American drinkers to drinkers around the world, right?
This is going to be exciting. So Nate brought up, I think he brought up someone being Irish earlier. I have a lot of Irish in me. And I don't know what kind of questions you're going to ask, but I'm assuming that America is lacking in the consumption of alcohol per capita.
Right. So you would be correct. So this is ranked against all of the countries in the entire world, right? And there are countries that consume zero alcohol, right? So those, are going to change it as well. But
I don't know who this is. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off. Somebody's commenting on YouTube, and their name is Bitcoin is a scam. And it says, uh-oh, Irish and drinkers. I don't know who this is. Continue. I'm sorry. This is America versus all of the other countries.
Right. America versus the world, right? So we talked about how 2.3 gallons per person per year average, right? So if I look at, this is the one fact I did not transfer over. I ran out of time. So the United States, ranked against all the countries in the world, the United States ranks 39th in alcohol consumption. I was expecting higher.
Out of all of the, I'm sorry, say again, out of all the what?
All countries in the world, every single country, right? And this is, gallons per person. That's what this average comes from, right? So we're at 2.3 gallons, which is equal to, where'd it go? It's equal to, see, this is in liters, so I had to do some conversions. So 2.3 gallons is 9.97 liters per person, okay? Now, we are there and we're at 39th, which is still double the global average. The global average is closer to 5 gallons or 5 liters per person. So if there's some other countries, like if you had to, when I think of a drunk country, what country comes to your mind? Like one of the drunkest countries where the most alcohol is consumed. What country comes to mind?
I would say Ireland or Russia.
Right. So Germany is what comes to my mind, right? But let's see what we got. Ireland is ranked number 5.
Nate Casper says Mexico. I'm sorry, Nate Casper guessed Mexico. My Aunt Carrie guessed Ireland, and this Bitcoin is a scam guessed Ireland as well.
So Ireland is number 5. on the list. Okay, so and their consumption is 12.75 liters per year. So not much higher, but still higher than the United States. About 30% higher. Germany, which is what I would have guessed, came in at number 3, 19.79. Mexico is not in the top 10, and I don't feel like digging that up. Sorry,
Sorry Nate. Second.
But the number 1 country is Latvia, which, anyways. So yeah, Ireland 5, Germany 3. Thank you for our subscribers for chiming in. That was fun, right?
Hey, I like that. That was a good question.
So that is my USA versus the world stats. I've got a lot more info whenever we get into the actual states. I'll be talking about stats like let's see. I'm going to have percent of adults who drink regularly, a growth rate in the past 10 years for how many more people drink than they did 10 years ago, a percentage of adults who binge drink regularly, and then of course we're going to talk about alcohol consumption per capita, and also I have a stat for craft breweries per state, and this is craft breweries compared to 100,000 people. So we'll talk more about that once we actually pick states. But I've got all that going on with the states ranked in order and everything like that.
I'm gonna jump in here. So Nate Casper put out a comment that I didn't mention earlier, and he said maybe we should tweet out or insert social media conglomerate here out that what beer we're drinking so they can drink along with us. And I really like that idea. And I'll just throw this out here now. Nate, if you want to come on soon, text me I'm pretty sure me and Nate, I'm pretty sure Nate has my number. Nate, if you want to come on soon, shoot me a text and let me know what state you want to drink with. And we'll try to make that work out.
Right. So these first few weeks are going to be easy, right? We're going to be drinking beers that are common, right? We're going to be drinking Michigan beers or Wisconsin beers or Illinois beers, something that's more likely to be able to get across the country. But we'll have to start narrowing it down and with more difficult beers later. But for now, they're going to be pretty basic.
Yeah, I think the first couple episodes we'll do Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, the typical the Midwest states. Something we haven't touched on yet is I'm currently working in New Hampshire for the next 2 weeks. So I'll have some. I'm going to bring home some New Hampshire beers, some Maine beers, some Vermont beers, some New York beers, and we're really going to be able to spread out here. Once we get to the West Coast, though, who really knows what's going to happen over there and how we can get those beers. Something Aunt Carrie brings up here. She wants to know what ball fields sell the most beer, which is a very interesting question to me. So maybe when we get to states like Illinois, Chicago, we talk about maybe how much beer is consumed at a Chicago football game, Chicago baseball games, so on and so forth. I like that tying in a sport aspect of it.
Right. Okay. So I'll add this in the notes. We're gonna pick a state, and then we're gonna talk about where these sports fans rank versus other leagues, right? So I'll pull, like example, if we do Illinois, there's lots of teams to talk about. So I'll compare the Blackhawks to all the other teams. I'll compare the Bears to all the other teams, and I'll compare the Cubs and the White Sox, the Bulls. We could just go through that real quick.
I like that. That's a really good idea, Carrie.
I like that. That's fun. All right. So I'm going to add that to the notes now. So sports fans compared. Cool.
Do you have anything else to trivia-wise?
My favorite part of sports is beer. So, let's see. No, I don't think so. I just had this little part of the this article. It said the one line that I thought was pretty funny. I'm talking about how more than half of Americans are regular drinkers, and then it says here, with multiple holidays and special events based almost entirely around drinking, St. Patrick's Day, New York's Eve, every single football Sunday. For many Americans, their favorite pastime seems to be cracking a cold one or pouring a stiff cocktail. I just thought that was funny. Because, I mean, seriously, you sit down for a game, you crack a beer. New Year's Eve and St. Patrick's Day, forget about it. But yeah, all the holidays, really. Especially with Christmas coming up. I know that's a drunk holiday for me. It's also my birthday. I'm going to be 30 this year. But that's definitely a drunk holiday for me. Probably more for me than most. Well, it's probably more for me than most with any, day. Anyways, yeah, I probably drink too much. But yeah, that's all I got for the United States versus the world trivia.
I'm
fun.
excited to
That's fun.
get into these states and talk about like specific state details. We'll be able. I think we'll be able to break states down more than we'll be able to break. Like we did Lagunitas today because it's the most sold craft beer in the world, right? The specifically Lagunitas
Right.
IPA. Let me ask you this: what is your favorite beer that Lagunitas puts out?
It is a limited release. Okay, so if anyone's interested, write this down. It is called Undercover Investigation Shutdown Ale. Now, this is a limited release beer, like I said. It's a strong beer, comes in closer to 10%. It's in the IPA category. And the story is, well, I'm a Lagunitas super nerd too here, okay? So Lagunitas started in California. They now have a brewery in Chicago, which dispenses much more beer than the California location now. But so this beer came from the California location where they got into trouble because they kept smoking weed while they were making their beer, and they would have these parties. And they would get busted by the feds for them openly smoking weed in their tap room and everything. So there's a lot of issues with that. And that actually came. There's another popular beer. It's called Little Something Something. Remind me to tell you how Little Something Something came about. Anyways, so there was this party that they threw. It was supposed to be this super secret party, and it got busted by the feds. And then this beer was made to honor that party, and it's called the Undercover Investigation Shutdown Ale, from a party that was busted by the feds. That's where that beer came from.
Love
But
it.
yeah, that's my favorite from Lagunitas. They've got a couple other good ones. Like I enjoy their Maximus IPA. It's a double IPA. It's in the eights for ABV.
I know
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
I know you're a big ABV guy. You and Nate both, and I'll get back to that in a second. You and Nate both beat me to it when I asked you if you what your favorite beer from Little Something Something was. Oh, I'm sorry, from Lagunitas was. My favorite beer is Little Something Something. And yeah, it's an IPA, and I'm not a fan of IPAs. I can have one or two. But I think my biggest thing with the Little Something Something is they donate their proceeds, and I don't know what percentage, but they donate their proceeds to, I believe, either Air Force veterans or some type of veteran service. So some of their proceeds from specifically Little Something Something goes towards veterans.
right. So I really like Little Something Something too. Okay. And it's actually kind of funny. So it's actually a wheat beer. Okay. So that's why you like it. It
It's
does
not an
have
IPA.
hops like an it has hops like an IPA, but it falls somewhere in between IPA and a wheat ale, right? So that's probably why you like it. If you like 312 or Blue Moon or anything like that, then a little something something is going to be more desirable to you than the Lagunitas IPA. And it's also stronger, 7.5%. It's a pretty easy drinker. I enjoy a little something, something.
It's a short neck too, isn't it? Well, I think
Yeah,
most
yeah,
Lagunitas are, right?
yeah. They chose for the stubby bottles. Right. But I enjoy it. And it's funny because, so this is probably going to come up when we talk about Illinois beers, specifically Chicago beers, because the Chicago beer industry is insane. Um, so Lagunitas IPA is the number one selling craft beer in the world. Every city consumes more IPA than any other craft beer. I shouldn't say every city because I'm sure. Anyways, um, Chicago is the only city that drinks more of another beer than IPA, and that is a little something something. Chicago's the only city, and that's because of Chicago's weird obsession with their wheat beers.
Wheat beer, yeah.
Personally, I don't like wheat beers, but Goose Island 312, that's just a flagship for Chicago beers.
Yep.
And a lot of the drinking taste in Chicago or around Chicago revolves around that. Personally, I mean, if it's free beer, I'll drink it, right? But I would go away from a wheat beer, but I still do like a little something something because it falls in between a wheat beer and an IPA.
Yeah, I'd say Little Something Something is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. And then they've also got a hazy variety too. I like hazy IPAs. They're a little juicier.
Let me ask you this: are the hazy IPAs the ones that are less hoppy, or is that like a lazy IPA?
Yes.
What's the difference between hazy lazy? Is it the same thing?
So I think I would have to look to be sure, but my understanding is hazy is unfiltered. Okay, hazy IPA. I want to get this right. This is something I should know.
Because I mean, like I said, I can do an IPA every now and then, as long as it's not like I think Dogfish Head makes like a 3-day IPA or like I don't know what they call it, like a triple dipped. Are you following me? Do you know what I'm talking about? The Dogfish Head one.
From what brewery?
I think it's Dogfish Head or Doghead or it's like
Head, they have a 60.
There it is.
They have a 60-minute and a 90-minute and
That's
a 120.
Yeah, not touching those. Not the 120.
Yeah, so those are. I don't know the story behind those, but the longer the time, the stronger those beers are. But those are very, very hoppy IPAs. 60-minute, I mean, it's closer to a typical IPA, but the farther you go up, 90 or 120, they do get to be a little more bitter. Yeah, so I don't feel like looking too far into this.
That's fine. We can come back to that. I got a couple comments here.
Hazy IPAs are delicious. They are juicy and fruity. I knew that.
Pass. Okay. We'll come back to that when we talk Chicago beers, because we'll talk 312, and I think 312 has a. We'll find out what was the brewing company?
For 312, that's Goose Island.
No, I'm sorry. For the 60, 90, and 120 minute IPAs.
Dogfish Head.
Dogfish Head. We'll come back to that on the Dogfish Head state. And we'll put some notes in our.
Right.
We're a very professional podcast. We're definitely going to write that down and come back to it. Got a couple comments here. Nate Casper says wheat beer sucks, but little something something is different. And then my Aunt Carrie chimes in.
That's my opinion exactly.
My Aunt Carrie chimes in and says, "Women wash." Well, she says woman, but let's not grade the Wilsons and the McCaslins on their English, okay? Women wash their hair with beer. Do you guys wash your beards with beer? Have you ever heard of this?
Accidentally.
I mean, there's.
All the time.
So one of my favorite things is
I spill beer.
When Phoenix, my youngest pit bull, when Phoenix comes up and crawls on my chest, she'll lick the beer out of my mustache. She will literally, like if I'm sitting on the couch watching football, she'll literally sit right here on my shoulder, and when I take a drink of beer, she'll literally just come in and just lick all the beer out of my mustache.
Yeah, Max is afraid of beer cans. I don't know why, but I'll be sitting there with when I have a beer in my hand, it's typically sitting on my thigh on the couch, and Max will come up and he'll sniff it, and then he curls his lip and runs. I don't understand it, but it is a hilarious game. He just comes near me, and I point the beer can at him.
That's my aunt, Nate. I'm not reading that one.
Yeah, back to washing the beard. No, I haven't heard of that. I do it accidentally all the time. I can't imagine how much beer is in this portion of my beard right now. But yeah, all the time. I do.
Never
I
intentionally.
do.
Unless
Never
we're doing
intentionally.
unless we're doing a long pour.
Yeah, yeah. That's. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we don't do that anymore.
All right, so we're sitting at 47 minutes. I think we've talked enough beer. What's next on the docket?
Okay, so we got to figure out how to format this.
Oh, I apologize.
I've seen a lot of videos.
Nate Casper wants to know if you went to Longfellow.
I did.
I knew that. I just wanted you to answer the question.
Kyle Casper's brother?
No. Nate Casper is a tall, skinny. Well, in elementary school, he was a tall, skinny string bean. He's put on a little bit of weight. He's still tall and skinny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember much.
So I think I think in the pre-show we talked about the next segment a little bit. Are you going dad jokes?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to?
So this is just.
Go ahead. You got it.
So the reason for this is I've just seen a lot of videos out there, whether it's, well, now it's all over TikTok, right? Guys will sit across from each other, around our age, which makes it better, I think. They'll sit across.
I'm not going to keep doing this if you're going to bring TikTok up. I'm out on TikTok.
Oh, give me a break.
I'm out on TikTok. We're not going to talk about TikTok.
You're not that. Dude, you send me TikToks.
No. Julie sends me TikToks, and I forward you the absolute funniest ones. That's it. I'm out on TikTok. Okay.
Well, I was just saying how it's funny because most of these people are younger, right? So these jokes typically apply to the next generation, but you might be in that generation because you're acting old as fuck right now. I don't know. But anyways, so two guys sit across from each other and they tell dad jokes and you try not to laugh, right? So I think this could be fun. I don't know, just a few minutes.
Let's do
saying dad jokes.
Let's do let's do 5 jokes apiece, and if it takes long, we'll do 3 jokes.
Okay, that sounds good. So we're gonna take turns. I'm gonna say a joke, and if either of us laugh, the opposing person gets a point. So if I make you laugh, I get a point. If you make me laugh, you get a point. Or if I laugh at my own joke, you also get a point.
I would say, what if you make yourself laugh?
Right. So if you laugh at all, the other person gets a point. So this is terrible because I laugh at literally everything. Like sometimes it's just the worst things that I shouldn't laugh at, but I do it anyways. I'm just always laughing. So you want to get this started? You go first. But yeah, let's you go first, and then someone's gonna have to keep track.
All right. So this is my this is my first one. What did Tennessee? The same thing as Arkansas.
Yeah, that's not going to do it for me.
All right.
Here's my opener. Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing? In case they get a hole-in-one.
That was really funny.
I see you fighting it.
Oh, so that's funny.
I see you fighting it. All right, go ahead.
What do you call a naughty lamb dressed up like a skeleton for Halloween? Bad to the bone.
That's so stupid. Okay, you got that one. So that's going to be 1 for Mike. Are you going to tally these?
Yeah, it's 1-0. This is round 2. Bottom of the second,
That was
1-0.
so stupid. Okay. My wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward.
That was good.
You're so close, man. So close.
What is the most detailed-oriented ocean? The Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
All right. Bottom of the third, 1-0.
What's better? What's better is most people say specific, so that really does make me laugh. Let's see. What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? They're both Paris sites.
That one almost got
You're
me.
laughing.
That one almost got me.
Oh, man.
That was close.
All right.
Top of the fourth, 1-0. When does a joke become a bad joke? When it becomes apparent.
You got to start that over. It cut out. Sorry.
When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
It cut out, but I got it.
It's funny.
Okay.
Bottom of the fourth, 1-0.
See, you should tell another one because I heard the punchline before the joke itself. So go ahead, do another one.
All right. Top of the fourth, 1-0. Why is Peter Pan always flying? Because he never lands.
That's good. That's good. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera.
You've had better.
All right.
All right, this one might get you. Top of the fifth, 1-0. I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me. See what I did there? I did a beard joke, a dad joke, and a beard joke.
Yep.
It's called podcasting. Bottom of the fifth, 1-0.
All right. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince.
Damn it.
Yes. Let's go.
I had it.
That's the one that got. No, I think it's build up from the other one.
Yeah. I couldn't laugh at the third one. The third one got me. I held it back. All right. So we'll call that a tie, and we'll just running tally.
Yeah. We'll just keep tracks of wins, losses, and ties.
And again, we're a professional podcast, so we're definitely going to keep track of all that. It'll be 1-1 next week, next week it'll be 1-1 for sure.
All right, cool. I got a really good list.
Okay,
this is going to be good.
So I screwed myself. I just jumped around on a random website. I read like 299.55, so I'm screwed for the next time I come back. But I don't know what else you have on your docket, but I have a few more beer questions for you. Do you want to finish up anything that we might not have gotten to yet? We're at 55 minutes.
That's it for me. That's all I've got on my notes. I'm excited for next week. Next week's going to be a lot of fun. We got the trial out of the way. Hopefully as more people listen, they could suggest some content like the comparing of sports fans. I really like that. That's going to be fun. But as far as my notes are concerned, that's all I've got. I know you got some beer questions. Lay it on me.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I know this answer already, but for the listeners or for whoever's still hanging around, when you pick a beer, so like picture Brewfest in Highland, right? Pick a type of, and for anybody that's listening that doesn't know what Brewfest is, literally it's a bar with taps on the wall. You pay for what would you call that? Like a mock off credit card, a mock credit card.
Yeah, so they give you trade your credit card for one of their cards, and then you put that on the tap, and then you're charged per ounce that you pour. So you
Which
can get all the samples you want, which is really cool. I like it a lot.
I like that concept, and I actually like your stock concept better. The one bar you went to, and Let's save that for that state if you remember what state
Oh,
that's in, because I really like that.
Michigan,
So let's save that for Michigan.
Michigan.
But so when you go into a bar like that, do you get pulled? How do you get pulled to a beer? Do you get pulled? Obviously, you're not going to a light beer. Do you get pulled to a beer based on ale, IPA, porter, or do you get pulled to a beer based on alcohol content, based on how cool the name or logo is? What really draws you into a beer?
So if I'm at a liquor store, the first thing that grabs my attention is the design on the beer can.
Yes.
So this is something that will be broadcasted later on. I have a very extensive, started it 2 years ago, I think. I have a very extensive collection of, I would buy a 6-pack and I'd keep a can, an empty can. And so I've got a 40-gallon trash can full of beer cans, which I'm very excited to get going. That's part of the basement project. But yeah, I start with the cool looking cans, and then I look at the percentage, right? So I don't buy beers that are less than 6%, right? I mean, I drink Busch Light all the time, but if I'm looking at beers, it's not going to be under 6% for any kind of IPA or anything like that.
Yeah, and I
For
preface this question with you're not going to be drawn to a light beer, right? You drink Miller Lite, Bud Light, Busch Light, all the bullshit light beers. You drink those
right,
at a party. You drink those to play flip cup. You drink those to play slack. You drink those to drink all night. I'm talking about going to a bar or getting a beer for a specific party, like coming over after Christmas to your house. I might grab a specific 6-pack just to come to your house. I'm just talking about like how do you get drawn to a beer, not Busch Light, Miller Lite, none of that crap.
right. So in the liquor store, it's the can, right? I look at the can. I've got a couple breweries that I do enjoy a lot. We'll talk about those once we get to the specific states. But in a bar, when I don't have access to look at the cool can design that I'm going to display on my wall, the first step is looking at the alcohol by volume. Um, the first thing I do is I scroll through and I look for 10 percenters, right? 10 percenters are something I'm interested in. Typically, they are double or triple IPAs, they are imperial stouts, or barley wines. Barley wines are actually my favorite type of beer, but they're hard to come by. So I'm on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Imperial stouts, double IPAs. I just shot by the alcohol volume. I know that I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I know that you look more into the types of beers. I know you like darker beers such as porters more than I would, but yes, that is how I shot for a beer. And a joke that I was supposed to tell earlier was, nah, you know what? I'll save it for next time.
Sorry, couldn't hold it anymore.
I got a bucket down under my desk.
All right. So Nate Casper chimed. Did you finish the answer? I apologize. I knew the answer, so I walked away.
Right. Yeah. I answered it.
Okay. Nate Casper wants to know. He said, "Here's a beer question for him. Why do I like Guinness so much now, but didn't 10 years ago?"
I've never had Guinness, so I can't tell you.
So good.
Sorry, man. Guinness is not. That's not in my. It's not what I'm looking for, right? If I'm looking for a stout, I'm looking for something that's 8 or 9 or 10%. So Guinness just doesn't even compute for me.
So,
but your taste does change significantly, right?
Yes.
Like when I first started drinking, I couldn't drink beer at all. I couldn't drink beer at all. It was woodchuck hard ciders. That was my thing, right?
I'm going to come back to that, Aunt Carrie.
Right. So that's where I started. All the light beers, I didn't like them. The first beer that I had that I actually enjoyed was from Three Floyds, and it's called Zombie Dust, which is a very strange beer to be the first beer that you like. But once I enjoyed one of those, Coors Light came easy. But as far as Guinness, I mean, I don't know. I can't say one way or the other about it. I've honestly never had it, but your beer taste does change significantly as time passes.
So I guess I can touch on this because I do enjoy Guinness a lot. It's a porter with, to me, it's a porter with a little bit of a cream taste to it. It goes down real smooth, and I love drinking Guinness. I'll never buy a 12-pack or a 6-pack of it, but I will drink it in a bar, especially if you go to a pub. If you go to an Irish pub, first bar off the tap, give me Guinness. Or you go with an Irish ale, which is, or an Irish red or an Irish ale, which is usually Smithwick's and Fabu. And if you go in there looking like I do, and you're not a regular, you go in there, you say, "Give me the Smithwick's," or give me a Guinness. You're gonna get props right off the bat. So, Nate, here's what I'll say about this. You said how come I didn't like Guinness, but now I do, and you're talking about a 10-year span. 10 years ago, I was 22, so I just started drinking. My dad told me to like Coors Light. That's why I didn't like Guinness, right? Like, and then you kind of branch out and you start trying all this other stuff, and you find out. And Wiseman said your taste changes, and yeah, your taste does change, but I think it's more of a your taste does change, but I think it's more of a your buddies or your dad told you need to like this. And now I'm branching out and saying, hey, this other shit's pretty good too. Aunt Carrie would like to know, I still don't know who this is. The Bitcoin is a scam on YouTube says Guinness tastes like mud. I disagree, but we're going to have a lot of that's the nice thing about this podcast, right? We're going to have a lot of conflicting because we're going to drink IPA, we're going to drink wheat beer, we're going to drink ales, we're going to drink all kinds of different stuff, and people aren't going to like it. I don't like IPAs, but here we are, my aunt would like to know what state we're going to do next week. Where did that go? What do you think? I mean, Illinois is probably the easy.
Well, I mean, so it's gonna, because you're not coming home until.
I'll still be in New Hampshire next week. Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna have to be a beer that we can both find in a liquor store. So it's gonna be a common beer from a place, like Sierra Nevada. That's a very common brewery. Or let's see.
Let's do this.
Like Sierra Nevada.
For right now, let's say we're either we're gonna drink one of the states in the Midwest. We can dictate that right now. If you want to do Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, in the Midwest goes on and on. But I think those are the 4 states. One of the 4 states we'll do next week. Let's save Indiana until I'm home, and we can try to do a live show together.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So let's narrow down to Illinois, Milwaukee, or Michigan. And I will do what I can to try to find a beer from there, even if it's not the beer we're talking about. I mean, you just got to understand the situation right now, right? And it's not going to get any easier. I'm moving to Texas, right?
That's the other thing, too, right? So we're going to pick a state, and we don't have to drink the same beer. It doesn't even have to be from the same brewery.
Yes.
It's just, I'm going to talk about my beer, my brewery. You're going to talk about your beer and your brewery. I like that. It's more content, right?
It's more content. It's more conversation. And then people in the comment section, which I'm very jealous that there's this many comments. I've been doing Mikey's Morning Coffee for 3 years, and I've never had this many comments. And people in the comment section, we can tell them what state we're drinking up, what 2 beers we're going to be drinking, and they can bring their own beer to the table.
Okay, I like that. So we could probably pick Michigan. Michigan, I think, is the easiest. Ooh, this lighting is weird. I think Michigan is probably the easiest just because so much beer comes from Michigan, right?
Nate, you ain't lying.
So, what's that?
Nate said New Hampshire, the conservative state.
Wait till we get to New Hampshire as a state.
Corona,
I've got some good stats on New Hampshire.
I'll show up in you. All right. So let's call it Michigan then.
All right, we'll do Michigan. Let's see. I will probably go with. Well, you got to see what's available at your store, right?
That liquor aisle is huge, man. I'm
I
talking
know that grocery store is lit.
so hotel, wine and liquor store, no beer, no mas on beer, no mas coronas. Grocery store, huge beer aisle. So I'll be able to find something.
Ooh. I am going. If anyone wants to join me with this next week, I will be drinking a beer from New Holland, which is from Michigan, and the beer is called Dragon's Milk.
I could have guessed that.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? It's my go-to camping, cabin, Sunday morning kind of beer. Dragon's Milk. It's a very heavy beer, very strong. If somebody sampled it and they said, I asked them, what does it taste like? And they said, it feels like I'm drinking motor oil. And that's exactly what I go for whenever I drink dark beers. So I will be having New Holland Dragon's Milk. I don't know what variant or anything like that, but I will be drinking something of that sort.
I will find. I'll find something over. I'll head over to the liquor store and I'll post it out this weekend. Maybe I'll announce what I'm drinking on Mikey's Morning Coffee and then post it afterwards. Mikey's Morning Coffee will be live this Sunday from New Hampshire. That will be the 5th state Mikey's Morning Coffee has been live from. Can you believe that? 3 years in 5 different states. I think I lost him.
Oh, yep, it froze out a little bit. But yeah, we got it. 5 states, dude.
That's crazy. That's a lot of traveling for me. So next week's gonna be Michigan. Next week's gonna be Michigan. He's gonna be drinking Dragon's Milk. I will be beer of choice. Wild card. Nate, Bitcoin is a scam. Whoever you are, bring that. So something interesting here. And Jesus Christ, I cannot believe we went an hour and 8 minutes. with the notes that we had, it felt like we were gonna go 15 minutes.
I can't believe people are still here.
Same. So Bitcoin is a scam says that New Hampshire has state liquor stores, which I don't know nothing about, which I will have to figure out because that sounds amazing. That's funny, Nate. All right. Are you back? Are you frozen? I can't tell.
No, I'm good.
Okay. How do you want to end the show? Please don't say shotgun.
I don't know. We haven't got that far.
Yeah, we did not get that far. We were more concerned with starting the show.
Yes, and it went well. I think.
I think this went really well. I liked the facts. I thought the facts were going to drag a little bit. I liked the facts. I liked the trivia going back and forth. I enjoy drinking. I mean, that's something.
Right.
Not
yeah,
this.
I
enjoy drinking.
I don't know. And us just getting to bullshit for an hour and talk about beer. I mean, what could go wrong, right?
I'll tell you what. This is the most I've talked in 4 days. Not a lot of people.
Me too, probably. Me too.
Not a lot of people to talk to in this hotel room that extends literally that far. That's the front door. That's my bed, and that's the window. And you've had the tour. Here for 2 weeks.
So what do you think? We could just close it off with a cheers, say peace to our homies. See you next week.
All right, bud. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed drinking with you, and I will see you definitely before next Wednesday. But for the sake of the show, I'll see you next Wednesday.
Cheers, Mike. Cheers, listeners. See you next week.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.